What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. Chainsaw Man, Chapter 230. So in this chapter, Yoru asks Denji why she thinks she'd avoid the dove. Denji says it's because of, basically had a friend who, would try to kill him up, has a soft spot for animals, so, he's talking about power. So Denji thought that Yoru would be like power, basically, and, Denji says that he was lonely, he wanted a friend. Yoru asked if Denji's fine with just being friends, and Denji says that basically he wants a friend with benefits. So, Yoru laughs and agrees to. She says she hates Chainsaw Man, but likes Denji, and she says they'll follow truth, and she agrees to have sex with Denji, and she specifies that Asa gives consent as well. So Denji turns back into his human form. And then right as they're about to start, a bunch of devils arrive. And then, yeah, they have they have a bunch of other people. So you have India, Fumiko, and Canada, Fumiko pouring in, talking about various devils, various animals appearing. And you see a bunch of crap like bugs, bats, whatever going around. Yoru says that she and Denji are level plus, so they need to flee. Denji says that no, because though he ain't gonna run away because he was about to get laid. And he's about to pull his chain or turn back Chainsaw Man, but he's like, wait, how does it go again? And then basically he's like he forgets how to do it and rises one devil's about to punch him, and that's how the chapter ends. So yeah, okay. So Denji finally got someone to say yes. I mean, of course, it's someone that's trying to kill him, you know, like with Reese. But yeah, that was a decent chapter. I mean, we're getting close to the end, it looks like. I'd say just let's feel the okay. I'm like, okay, let's finish the fight. You know, get all stuff done and be done. Like, that's a decent chapter. I think we are getting close to the end. Looking forward to the next one. Yoroi Shinden Samurai Troopers, episode 8. So in this episode, so with all three sacred treasures found, so the Samurai Troopers are dealing with like the revelation, basically everyone, only humans from that are in the troopers were, lived at the same orphanage. And so yeah, so you have Pyro dealing with that, like thinking about what yeah, thinking about also like with his grandmother, and then so then now the thing with the sacred treasures, it's not enough to just having them is not enough to summon the armor, the Supreme Emperor, that they need to cleanse the sword domination. It's just basically a demon sword at this point. So to do that, they need the power of a sacred piece, with the specific sacred piece being White Blaze from the original show. It's real that, White Blaze and June were like inseparable. White Blaze would basically hang out with June wherever it was, where it was at school, home, job interviews. He never got a job because White Blaze was always around. And when he does some that little, restrain that spirit train, whatever. He was told that through a divine revelation that his presence would endanger everyone, so he sold White Blaze to a zoo. And yeah, then you have all the stuff with Ramaga, some of the characters are you know something like the 10 warriors, they're basically like being sacrificed to strengthen Guy, like the last name group, who I guess are like the weakest ones. Ramaga is just sacrificing them as pawns to strengthen Guy to a full vessel. And so yeah, so then the next one attacks at the zoo, and White Blaze is free, he's like possessed, he attacks June for a little bit. Then once he's healed, and then this spirit guy like cleanses, helps like keep Guy, prevent Guy from being possessed by whatever dark powers now on his sword. And then White Blaze like kind of basically bites June. Basically, it's kind of like not happy with being sold. Yeah, basically, yeah. So there's a lot of questions. So you have Sasuke, one of the 10 warriors. He's not happy about sacrificing a bunch of them to make guys stronger. Like he's not happy about a bunch of dying, about his comrades being sacrificed. But yeah, like they say, Uno was a cool villain. The guy, the warrior who was like carrying pajamas to the puppets. That was a cool villain. Yeah, but at least there's some questions. So at the end, so yeah, like so, Nasty is confronted by Amire about the jewel conquest. About the jewel conquest, hinting that Nasty was using it to contact with someone from another world. So there's a lot of questions about what's going on. So looks like that might be a plot point next week. So yeah, that was a good episode. I have issues with the stuff with June and White Blaze, but it seems like it was due to revelation, divine revelation. Like, obviously June went through some crap, and he was doing it to protect White Blaze, but hopefully they worked their stuff out. So yeah, that was a decent episode. Looking forward to the next one. Memory of a Killer, episode 5. So in this episode, so Angelo is carrying out a hit with Joe, and during that you have flashbacks to when Angelo tried to leave the crime family, and his brother Michael was starting to suffer from Alzheimer's, and that caused like basically Michael to lose track of a bunch of money. Basically, Angelo was trying to retire and move to Montana with his wife Lee. And so when there's issue with the money, so Angela frames JB for stealing the money, and that leads to JB getting killed. And when Michael explains to Dutch about his Alzheimer's, Dutch tells Angela to kill Michael to prevent him from exposing anything, but Angel has a deal to where if he stays, continues acting as Dutch's cleaner, he'll keep an eye on Michael, make sure he doesn't spill the beans or anything. And Dutch agrees, but you know, Lee was pissed about Angela not retiring. And then, after, in the present, after Angela carries out the hit, he confesses stuff to Joe, thinking he's Michael. So, like, yeah, so obviously his Alzheimer's is kicking in more. And that's probably going to cause some stuff to happen next week. And it's revealed in flashback that so Michael and Lee, and so he told Angel he didn't want to, because Angel would offer if Michael could go with him to Montana. Michael said no, because he doesn't want to ruin anything that Angel's built. And he reveals that he knows that Angelo killed their father for abusing them. So yeah, that was a good episode. Like how the flashback was cool. Like revealing like all the stuff how Michael got Alzheimer's and how that mirrors what Angelo's going through right now. And how like basically Dutch is probably gonna handle things differently now. But yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Paradise, Season 2, Episodes 1 through 3. So in these episodes, so this starts off focused on a character named Annie. She's a dropout, medical school dropout, who basically is a big Elvis fan. Becomes a guide at the, a tour guide at Graceland. And so, the disaster happens, a bunch of volcanic ash covers the sky, and so the temperatures drop. So Annie and her, colleague Gail, live in Graceland. Now Gail dies after 46 days. Almost 23, so 23 months later, sun sunlight appears again, and some survivors come to Graceland, and Annie meets them. And, they give her some food, and basically survivors are trying to shut down nuclear power plants, and basically they're trying to find a bunker where they need to kill someone named Alex, and then EMP destroyed all electronics. So Annie befriends a survivor named Link, and basically they screw each other, and Annie gets pregnant. Annie does not want to go to the bunker, but Link has not returned yet from the bunker. So Annie travels to a survivor's site in Arkansas, where she finds a crash plane with Collins in it. Basically, then so you have Collins, his plane has crashed, dislocated his knee, and you have flashbacks to like when he met his wife Terry, and while he was recovering from a knee injury, she was recovering from vision loss. And so, yeah, so Collins is rescued by some children. He basically, he saved these kids from a predator, and like the kids cover a stab wound that Collins gets and take his belongings. Collins passes out, and that's that when he's found by Annie, who's trying to get to the bunker, probably to find Link. And you have before the whole disaster happens, Redmond learns that Earth will have some uninhabitable temperatures due to all the greenhouse gases, and she tries to come up with a side project to counteract this. So Redmond hires Pace to force a scientist to give her his company, make the sales company her. And the scientist shows Pace his wife before, like how sick his wife is before he euthanizes her before he dies. And the scientist tells Pace to ask him to spare his student, who's like a very gifted student, before he's killed, because he believes that the student would be that the world's fate would rest on that. And Pace agrees. And you have Jeremy Presley, bunch of teens like are rebelling against the government by vandalism. Jeremy's arrested. Presley avoids. Presley's able to avoid getting arrested. Redmond wakes up from her coma. Driscoll basically makes her agree with Driscoll's testimony that Collins shot her. And yeah, so basically then now Redmond is interrogated by President Baines and Torby. Like basically Redmond was outsourcing some of the bunker's power for her side project. Baines is not happy about that. And yeah, Redmond doesn't like rake under the polygraph, whatever. So Redmond's just placed under house arrest. Torby visits her to listen in conversations about the project, even to figure what it was. And yeah, so Driscoll having to compliment Baines about how he handled Redmond. It's basically goes on a jog with Baines. Basically, Driscoll's kissing up, and Driscoll murders Baines and frames Agent Robinson for it. So Robinson was suspecting that Driscoll killed Pace. So Driscoll frames Robinson and the rebels for Baines' murder. So obviously she's trying to cover her own cover her own butt. CYA. And then in the prison, Jeremy has to design her the bunker to help them destroy the bunker's doors. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so I mean, I guess for premiere, yeah, so it looks like they had the premiere, 3 episode premiere. You had one focusing on Annie, one focusing on Collins, one focusing on Redmond. So instead of it all being on Collins, they try to spread it out. Okay, they were good episodes. I think with how the flashbacks work, I think they could have blended them in more to have it flow better, not feel as disjointed. Last episodes, I thought they were fine. I thought they were good episodes. Looking forward to the next one. Well, that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.